Good morning, everyone. This is Shah here, and welcome back to Shah's EV3 challenges. So for this challenge, you have to create a machine that turns itself off once you turn it on. So I know that sounds a little weird. That's okay. Here's a video that will probably explain it much better than I could. So this machine has been created by Jason Allman of JK Brickworks. This is how it works. So it's very funny actually. Link is here, so feel free to watch the video to its conclusion. As you can see in the video, it turns itself off, or actually more to the point, it pretends it's turning itself off. It's not actually off, but generally useless machines would have a switch, and when you flick the switch to one position, the robot would then raise the robot arm to flick the switch back to the other position, and that simulates the robot turning itself off. So you can just have that mechanism. You turn it on and it turns itself off, but that gets a bit boring. So how do you make it more interesting?
Whoa.
So as you can see from that video, Jason has programmed a few tricks to make it more interesting. The box moves out of the way when he tries to flick the switch. It hides the switch. It pretends that it's going to switch it off when it actually doesn't. Little things like that. And that behavior can be randomly selected or pre-programmed, depending on what you wish. So if you were to build such a robot, the first thing that you need to do is determine if the machine's switch has been flicked to the on position. You can either use the touch sensor for this, or you can use the color sensor for this. Then when the machine has detected that the switch has been flicked to one position, to the on position, you can then use a motor and a beam to turn it off again. There are a few enhancements that I think would make your machine more interesting. You can use other motors. As seen in the video, you can use another motor to hide the switch so that you can't actually flick it. You can use motors to make the machine get out of the way when you try to flick the switch. For programming, you need to use an if block. That determines if the touch sensor or color sensor is being pressed. So really quickly, the easiest way for you to do this is you start the program, then you put in an if block. So you check to see whether the touch sensor has been pressed. Sorry, give me a minute here. So here you can see when the program starts, it waits to see if the touch sensor has been pressed, and if the touch sensor has been pressed, then make the motor rotate. If you were to do it this way, then it's only going to check just once. So a better way of doing it might be to use a loop. So in this loop you'll have a switch. You can check to see if the touch sensor has been pressed. And if the touch sensor has been pressed, then you do this. Make the motor run. If the touch sensor has not been pressed, then you don't have to do anything. Another thing that you can try and do is you can get a bunch of random behaviors by using the random number block. So here you can set the value of the random number block, maybe 3 or 4 different actions. And depending on this value, you could use this value to trigger an action. So the actions that you triggered will be in the switch. So let's say 3 program actions. So this is what happens if the value is 1, this is what happens if the value is 2, this is what happens if the value is 3. So all these are ideas that you can try when you're doing your program. Now another enhancement that you can do is to use the IR sensor. So it randomly checks to see if something is in front of it, and if there is something in front of it, then you can make the useless machine move out of the way. So here's the challenge for this week. The simplest part of the challenge is just program the machine to turn itself off when it's turned on. Slightly more complicated, program the machine to pick one of several random actions, make it do one of the several random things to turn itself off once it's turned on. Finally, you can make the machine check to see if anything is in front of it using the infrared sensor, and make it move out of the way if something is in front of it. So that's the challenge for this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!